How's it going, guys? My name is Dom, and today I want to talk about the Node.nextElementSibling read-only property within the JavaScript document object model. So, this property is very useful for building user interfaces, and it will actually give you the next element right after the element you're calling it on. So, let's see how it works with an unordered list. Let's make a new list up here and give it an ID of my list. Now inside here, I'm going to make a few list items. Let's just say apples, and then let's just say, I don't know, bananas, and then finally pears, okay? So now, we're going to get this apples item and then use that as an anchor to actually get this one, bananas, using the nextElementSibling property. So let's make a new constant reference to this apples item. So we'll say const apples item equals the good old document.querySelector and pass in this selector right here. So we'll say my list, right? Then the first list item. Okay, so now if I log out apples item, we should see that right there. So I'll save this, go in the browser, refresh, and we get apples. Perfect. So now I'm going to use apples to get bananas. Alright? So it's quite straightforward. Let's make a new constant called bananasItem equal to apples item dot next element sibling. Alright? So now that gives you this. So we'll log out bananas item and see how it looks. So, boom, bananas, perfect. Now, the difference between nextElementSibling and nextSibling is that nextSibling will actually give you the next node. So for example, if I define or make a new text node below apples and call it Dominic, for example, now bananas item is going to be equal to Dominic because Dominic is the next node. It's a text node after apples. So if I save this, go in the browser, refresh, we get Dominic. If I change this back to the nextElementSibling, it's going to skip Dominic, the text node, and give you the next element. And that's why it's called nextElementSibling, and that's why it's very powerful. So refresh here, bananas. Alright, so let's see it in practice. What I'll do is make a navigation bar up here, then use the nextElementSibling property on the navigation bar to actually push everything else down and keep the navigation bar fixed and scrolling. So let's actually make some content on the page. Alright, let's duplicate this a few times. Alright, save this, refresh, we get some scrolling happening. Alright, so now let's make the navigation bar. Say nav, alright, put some text inside here, and then target it. So we'll say nav, give it some padding of, let's just say 15 pixels, give it a font weight of bold, and a background color of red. See how this goes. Refresh, we get that. So let's just make the margin of body 0, get rid of that white stuff, so margin 0, try again. Okay, so now I'm going to make this navigation bar float on top. Alright, we'll use the fixed position, so I'll say position and then fixed. Alright, give it a z index of 99, make it on top. Give it a top of 0 and a left of 0, and also a width of 100%. Okay, save this one, refresh, and we get that right there. So now I want to push that header down. So when I scroll, alright, that header is now visible. So let's go down here now and just get a reference to that navigation item or element. So we'll say const nav equal to document.querySelector once again, and then pass in nav. So now I want to get the next element below the navigation bar. That'll be the h2 element. So down here we'll say const below nav equal to nav.nextElementSibling. Alright? The reason why I'm using that right there instead of just using an ID title or the h2 is because if one day I want to change the next element below navigation bar, this will still work. So this is sort of like a universal solution to that problem. So we're targeting all the elements, or just, you know, the generic element, right? The generic element that's actually below the navigation bar. So that's why that's so powerful. Alright? So now it's quite simple. We'll just say below nav dot style dot margin top equals the height of navigation bar, so nav dot client height, alright, plus px. That returns a number. So a number right there plus px, boom, pixels. So now if I save this one, go in the browser, refresh, we see the desired effect right there. That's below that. If I scroll down, that's still on top. Alright? And that is how you can use the amazing nextElementSibling read-only property in the JavaScript document object model. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.